Okay, we're back. This time we are going to solve problems using the cross product. So the cross product, we're going to use this method to solve, and it's going to take advantage of something that we are aware of. We're just using it differently. For 2 fourths the same way to a half, and so is 3/6. So the cross product is just when you multiply across the equal sign. So 2 times 6 is equal to 4 times 3, or 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12. So you can see here that it takes advantage of an equal fraction. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to first identify the units in the problem. We're going to set up the cross product, then we're going to solve it. Let's go. So, charts are maps for water. Oh, okay. If the scale on a chart is 3 inches is equal to 150 nautical miles, that's for every 3 inches, it's this distance, 150 nautical miles. How far apart on the chart are 2 islands that are 1,200 nautical miles apart in real life? Use a proportion to solve. So let's first identify the units here. So I see 2 units that are described here. One is inches, and the other is these nautical miles. So these are the units I'm going to use to set it up. So I could set it up inches over nautical miles, or I could set up nautical miles over inches. I'll go ahead and set it up. I'll put my inches on top, and I'll put my nautical miles on the bottom. I'm going to write that as NM for nautical miles. So whenever I have numbers, this is I want to make sure I have my inches on top and my nautical miles on the bottom. So in a proportion, there's going to be one fraction on one side, there's going to be another fraction or ratio on the other side. So my scale here is 3 inches is to 150. And then what else do I have in this problem? So this right here is my scale. So this part's the scale right here. How far apart on the chart are 2 islands that are 1,200 nautical miles. So I've got this, in real life, I've got 1,200 nautical miles. My nautical miles go on the bottom, so that goes right there. And the question is, how far apart on the map? Okay, I don't know. Let's put an X there. So I have something that looks like a cross product, and now we just solve it. So I'm going to go 150 times X is 150X. That's going to be equal to 3 times 1,200. So I have 150x equals 3 times 1,200. So if I want to solve this for x, I have to do the inverse of multiplying by 150, which is dividing by 150. And see, I'm showing it to both sides of the equal sign. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So what's 150 divided by 150? Oh, those kind of cancel out, don't they? I'm left with x. Now I'm left with 3 times 1,200 divided by 150. Okay, for that, we will whip out a calculator. Turn that bad boy on. Clear. And so I'm going to type in 3 times 1,200. 1,200. I'm going to divide that whole thing by 150. When I do that, I get 24. So that's saying on the chart, 2 islands that are 1,200 nautical miles apart are going to be 24 inches apart on my chart. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's going to be, if 3 inches is 150 nautical miles, I'm going to need several 150 nautical miles. Like 10 of them, it's going to be 1,500 miles. And I've got well over 3 times that. Okay, I hope that helps. But did we not do what we said we ought to? We identified the units. We set up the cross product. Right? Now I have the units in place. And then we solved using the cross product. Make sure you multiply both sides, set it equal to each other, and solve by dividing what's x is being multiplied by. Hope this helps.